Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we explore the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Milan Kohut, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced, the lessons learned, and the strategies fueling future growth. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Jamie Nguyen, an online health and wellness coach, OCB Wellness Pro, posing coach, and NPC Bikini athlete. She specializes in customized training and nutrition plans tailored to individual lifestyles, complete with weekly check-ins, a dedicated coaching app to track progress, and direct support for sustainable results. Her limited spots for exclusive online clients underscore her commitment to personalized accountability in fitness journeys, from glute expertise to bodybuilding prep. With that being said, Jamie, let me officially welcome you to Founders Future.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's an honor
It's
to be
great to have you here. Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to the conversation. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to hop right into it. What I love to do at the beginning of every single episode is a bit of traveling back in time. So before you even had your own practice, your company, what were you doing before? And then eventually, what was the motivation for starting the business?
Wow. So, traveling back in time, I was actually a personal trainer at 18 years old, working at LA Fitness, and I actually hated my job then. Like, I only had about 30 minutes to 40 minutes to really train my clientele at that time. So, it wasn't very personalized, I guess you could say. And I was actually in school, going to school for pharmacy tech. Once I graduated, I became a pharmacy tech for about 4 years before I had moved over to Italy. Lived in Italy for about 4 years and then moved back and then became a lab technician with stem cell. I worked in stem cell for about 6 years before actually transitioning back to becoming a trainer. And how that really happened was my trainer at that time was like, "Hey, you would be a really great personal trainer." I was like, "No, I already did that at 18. I did not like the job at all." And then he told me to give it like another chance. So I was actually driving an hour and a half up to his town just to learn from him and see what the difference was from when I was 18 to then. And then I ended up falling in love with it. So it's kind of like a big full circle.
Yeah, I was just about to say this is definitely one of those love-hate relationships
Yeah.
with the world of fitness, though. What do you think was different, though? Obviously, your younger version, you were not really feeling like this is going to be the way for you to go. What do you
Yeah.
think changed in all those years?
I think when I was 18, like I said, I didn't have enough time with a lot of my clientels, and a lot of my clientels at that time was like whoever they gave you, whoever they assigned to you. Like I didn't get to pick and choose my clientele, and that's the big difference now is that I get to pick and choose my clientele. So, back in the day when I was 18, training all of my clients, like a lot of them just wanted to really talk the first 15 to 20 minutes, and then they have like 10, 15 minutes left of training, and it's just doing like a quick one or two workouts, and then they're pretty much done with their session. And I was like, how am I helping these people at all? So
Mm.
that's what I was like, I don't think this is the job for me until um doing that mentorship with my personal trainer. His name is Eric, actually. And that's when I was like, oh, this is how I can change people's lives.
I love it. Interesting journey, though. Obviously,
Yeah.
starting as a PD at 18, doing all the science and working with stem cells, which in itself, I'm pretty sure that was an interesting journey.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously, listen, as anybody in business and being an entrepreneur, there's a lot of adjusting along the way. So
Mhm.
it's the same for you. We're going to talk about where this journey got you overall and what the business really looks like today. Because my goal coming into this part of the podcast is really just bring some clarity for our audience in terms of who is it exactly that you're trying to help right now? And also, what are the core offerings that you have in place for your clients? So tell us all about it.
So, my right now, I want to bring aspiring bodybuilders to the stage, because I am a bodybuilding athlete myself, and I noticed that there's a lot of people who want to step on stage, but there's also that fear where they're like, "Am I good enough to step on stage?" So, me as a coach, I want to help them build that foundation and truly show them that. you guys can do this. Like, I have clients that are like 48 years old, stepping on stage to 50 years old. So if they can do it, so can anybody else that just wants to start the journey. And I know, like, when you look on social media, you see a lot of like these prep coaches where they prep like higher end athletes, and then you start comparing yourself to those people, and you're just like, wait, how do I get there? And then there's also that feeling of when you're an amateur, you feel like you're not getting the attention that you might need when starting out a bodybuilding show or prep, I should say.
Absolutely. It's a treacherous journey for a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fitness journey for anybody, it's not an easy task to go through, especially for people who are coming from the background of like being ashamed. I mean, I can tell you from my own experience, I went through a bit of a transformation myself. Maybe some of the listeners on the podcast already heard it, but I lost about like almost 90 pounds in like less than a year and a half. So that was a huge transformation. And I know that for people like me, the past version of me, even after you lose that weight, there's still this mental piece that you're constantly battling with. So I had a
Yeah.
chance to speak to a couple of people who actually went all the way to like show up on stages, going through the posing and everything like that. So what I love about what you do is not just working with the physical, but also shifting the mindset. Right.
Mhm.
So there is a lot that goes into this, though. Obviously, Jamie, we're going to discover more about how people can actually end up working with you. So now that we have a better understanding of who it is that you're looking to help, what are the different ways, though? Is it only one-on-one? Is it something that you do in a group coaching setting? How does that really work?
So I actually only do one-on-ones. I don't enjoy the group coaching just because it's everybody's body is so different. Their body mechanics is also different. So one person could be doing an RDL a certain way, whereas somebody else could be doing RDLs very differently just because of how your body is structured. And so I personally don't do group coaching just because I want everybody's program to be very personalized. And everybody's body responds differently as well too. So it's a little bit harder for me to do group coaching, so I prefer the one-on-one training, whether it's in person or online.
Oh, so this is both in person and
Mhm.
online.
Yeah.
What would you say is like the ratio?
I have more online clients right now. My one-on-ones are more like lifestyle clients where they're barely getting into the gym. They're trying to figure out form wise. A lot of my on clients already have that foundation down. So what I usually require from them is like video checks just to make sure that their form is still on point, even though they already know what they're doing in the gym. So that is a lot of my clientele is online.
I love that. Now, Jamie, I want to build on top of this though, because obviously what like one of the biggest topics on this podcast is the question of scalability, right? How can certain companies grow? In what way? What using what methods? So I want to ask you, considering one-on-one is really the style that you're going for, just to make sure that everything is still customized and personalized.
Mhm.
Obviously, there is only so many people that you can help with your one-on-one time in one day.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, when you think about the scalability of this company in the future, would you say that it's more about like hiring other coaches to perhaps work underneath you with your methodologies, or what is the general idea?
That is so funny because I was just thinking this morning and I had told my boyfriend I was like I might have to start hiring an assistant just because I have an athlete planning on stepping on stage at a certain show and I'm going to be in a different state for that exact same day at a different show. So I was like, "Oh my goodness, I might have to hire an assistant." So my overall goal, I do have a couple of athletes who are also coaches themselves and to hopefully guide them through the same journey because a lot of them did tell me that they want to become prep coaches as well. And I would love to help somebody and mentor them through that process as well too, just so that they can build their own business in the future.
I love it.
So that is
Beautiful
the
idea.
overall goal.
Yeah, absolutely, though. There's just so many things that you can do, especially when it comes to this industry.
Yeah.
It's just you're open to opportunities, right? So it really just depends on where you want to take the company. But looking at obviously, there is a different set of questions that you need to ask yourself as a business owner. It's beautiful to see that you're all about the impact and really changing those lives. But running a business is not easy though. So we're going to cover the back end stuff of everything a little bit. And more specifically, what would you say it is that's happening on the front of marketing for you, or maybe specifically lead generation to make all of this even happen and have the ability to onboard new clients and keep changing lives?
I think what's hard is that it's just me right now. Like I'm a one-man team. Like I do everything, audits, all that stuff. I take care of everything. And I'm realizing that do need to have other people as well to help me. So that is something I'm looking into for 2026. I feel like because I was a manager at my previous job when I was working in stem cell. So I feel like that built the foundation of for how to for me to handle my business. So that was really helpful. But right now, like I said, being a one-man team, it's a little bit challenging.
Yeah, there is a lot that goes into it. So I
Yeah.
100% understand what you're saying. Now, when it comes to like specifically having some strategies, I'm pretty sure that you tried out different stuff and you also were quite successful in terms of building your following on social media. So considering that's the case, I'm curious, what is your strategy in terms of getting in front of the right people at the right time and having the ability to get new clients? What is going
So
on there?
it's building your brand. It's being who you are. And like I said, when I was 18, I was training people that I didn't enjoy training. Like they weren't my type of clientele. Once I was able to build my brand and present who I am and who I want to train, because what I always tell myself is I want to be the type of athlete is going to be the same athlete that I want to train. So that's going to be the type
Mhm.
of person that I'm aiming to be every day. So the type of athletes that I attract is that they want to step on stage. They want to better themselves every day. They want to see what they can truly bring to the stage as well too. And you're gonna get some people who's gonna really lack on you, and then it's always questioning themselves like, why are you doing this? Why do you want to do this? You know? So always question myself that as well too, like, why am I doing this? What is my why?
How are you attracting them though? Is it just about like posting content and waiting for them to react, or what is the strategy behind it?
So I have a Google application online, and then that's where they can apply to be coached by me. And like I said, sometimes I'll close out that application because I only take on so many clients just because I want all of my clients to get my attention, and their programming is very detailed. So once I hit my max, I close it out. But with content, social media, that's how people get to notice me and what I do. I feel like my Instagram is my work social media base where my TikTok is more my personalized where what my friends see.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So I would assume that considering you have, I think it's almost 30,000 people on your Instagram page, isn't it?
I believe it's only 18, 17.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I got it. Okay. Thank you for correcting me. But still, there is like thousands of people visiting the page. It's growing. The audience is getting bigger and bigger. So would you say that this was basically the main source for you getting in touch with your clients that you have now? Or was there also something else that you tried, whether that's paid ads, whether that's public speaking, whether that's
It
whatever the
was
case may be?
mainly just through Instagram, just posting what I post on Instagram, and word of mouth helped a lot as well too. Because like what I do is actually very different than a lot of coaches because I've had a lot of coaches in the past, and that's how I learned is that okay, I don't want to be like that coach. This is what I'm going to change with how I'm coaching people, or if I had a really good coach, okay, this is something that I can use for my own personalized coaching as well.
Absolutely. Now,
Mhm.
Jamie, you talked about the team though. You already gave us a little sneak peek in terms of, hey, I'm running this as a one-woman show. It's getting a little bit too much. So you're considering hiring. Now, when it comes to delegation and having that ability to, well, basically create an ecosystem that supports other people joining you, this is also one of the biggest topics on the podcast. So I'm curious, what is your philosophy in terms of like when is the right timing to actually take the next step, hire the first person? Who would that be in your case specifically?
Honestly, it's who wants to do it because when I was working in stem cell and when I was a manager, I had to hire some people. I had to delegate tasks to my team as well too, and also trust that it's the task that they can do and they're not gonna really mess up that task because in stem cell, it's really important when you're working with that type of stuff. Like it's all science-based. Same thing with bodybuilding. It's also science-based, based on that person's body. It's not even blood work at this time. So for me, like I'm delegating it out to like if you really want this for your own business, then and you want to be mentored by me, by all means, like let me help you. How can I help you so that you can build your business in the future as well too? Because that is something that my trainer also did for me. I would just have to be willing to work for it. So it was just like that hour and a half drive once a week, driving up to Phoenix just to see him, just be mentored by him. So it's just whoever really wants it.
So you're basically willing to show the way, but they're
Yes.
gonna have to work for it. I love that though. Now, would you say that ultimately the goal is really like get the company to a position where there is a lot of clients and you basically build out your internal teams, whether that's for marketing, sales, possibly other departments, or would you rather keep it as something smaller, more sustainable, more controllable?
A part of me wants to really grow and build a really big team, but at the same time I'm like, is that what I truly want? And at the end of the day, when I question myself that, it's what I truly want is to build a team who wants to build this business for themselves as well too, to become future prep coaches and have their own prep athletes. And like I said, if they really want it and they want to be mentored by me, by all means, I'm willing to help them and guide them through the way. I think my overall goal is to be part of my current team, being a coach with them just because they're already a big team themselves. I'm not sure if you heard of the Pro Physiques. That is actually who I'm being coached by, with Renee Hershey. And eventually, I just want to be a part of their prep coaches so that it helps me not have so much stress on myself.
Absolutely. Just not managing everything by yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, it's running your own business that's not an easy task to do, is it?
No, it's
So,
not.
yeah. I love it though. Let's talk about the goals a little bit more in depth. Obviously, when you think about the future, like the short-term goals, maybe the next 6 to 12 months, what would you say that is? Like the biggest targets, the goals, the revenue, the milestones that you have set for yourself.
I definitely want to expand more to different states because a lot of my clientele is Arizona based right now. So my overall goal is to aim clienteles that are out of state because I also do travel out of states for shows. So if I'm able to manage clients out of state as well too, and then go see them every time I'm in that state, that would be my overall joy.
I love it. Anything else aside from this?
As far as that is that right now, and then becoming the pro physique coach because, like I said, I love to travel, and if I can have any type of job that involves traveling, like I'm more of that person that I like to travel for work, not for fun. If the fun comes with the work, then I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to making this happen, though, out of everything, what would you expect would become like the biggest challenge to make it happen?
Honestly, I think it's trying to show more of my personality on social media because that's how people get to know you. And like I said, my Instagram is very work-based, so I feel like I hide a little bit of my personality on my Instagram, and that's what I'm actually trying to do for 2026 is to show more of my personality out there so that I can target the out-of-state clients that I want to target for.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm loving your personality, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. You just need to put yourself out there.
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate that.
When it comes to this, though, I'm also curious. Obviously, everybody who is in the world of fitness and health and wellness, they have a different approach when it comes to leveraging on the potential of social media. Aside from Instagram, are you like actively trying to leverage different platforms in different way, or like what is your strategy on that front?
I am not only because one, I don't want to build a clientele team of that many where I can't handle everybody. So that is why I only keep it very Instagram based. Um, I'm slowly transitioning over to TikTok just because that's where I feel like I'm more myself. I show more of my personality on there. That's where all my friends are. They're on TikTok. So I don't think I have any clientele on TikTok at all that I have to like, oh wait, I have to be careful with what I say because a lot of my Instagram followers, if they see me doing something, then they're gonna try to do it too. And then with how I'm eating, like I don't want people to base it off of that, like, oh, I have to eat chicken and
Mhm.
rice to lose weight. So that is why I am very strict with what I post on my Instagram versus with what I post on my TikTok.
Oh, wow. I mean, to be honest, there's not that many people who actually think in so much depth about something like this. So, hats off to you for that. It's lovely. Obviously, everything that you're doing is really coming from a genuine place of like you want to help those people.
Yeah.
So, I love that. Now, when it comes to obviously, we're talking about today's day and age. Everybody's on TikTok, everybody's on social media. Also, AI has really become like Jesus Christ. This is the next big thing in the history of humankind. So, I'm curious, is there like any sort of tool or piece of technology that you implemented for your company and the processes that you have in place that you would call a game changer?
I would say ChatGPT.
Best friend.
Obviously, once it dropped, I feel like it was very useful for like when I am trying to, I am bilingual, so sometimes it's hard for me to put into sentence for a way for people to understand. So it's just putting it into ChatGPT and telling them to, hey, translate this into a way where my client can understand it. Because sometimes my terms, they'll be like, wait, what are you talking about? Or sometimes I'll read a message and I'm like, wait, is this what they mean by it? So it's like asking ChatGPT, hey, is this what this person means by this? And how can I help them respond? This is how I want to help them. So how can I put this in a form where one, it's not like attacking them, I would say, because when you type things out, sometimes people can feel a certain type of way. So I try to keep it very professionalized. And I feel like if I had this when I was working in stem cell, it would have been so helpful.
Yeah, Jamie, Jesus, so much consideration for everything
Yeah.
and everyone. I love it. Awesome. Jamie, look, obviously there is a lot of ambition here. You have a lot of goals. I'm loving the journey, so I'm definitely going to be the biggest fan here. Now, before we wrap it up, though, if you could maybe travel back in time and really speak to your younger self at the very, very beginning of your journey as an entrepreneur, what would be the best piece of advice that you would give yourself?
Oh, wow, that's a good question.
Yep. Putting you on the spot here. Yep.
Is to know that you are good enough to be where you are at today because there, especially this last year, I questioned myself like, am I a good enough prep coach? Maybe I should just stick with being an athlete only because this last year was the first year where I had a big team of athlete. Like I think I had an athlete of six stepping on stage this last December. So it was questioning myself a lot where can I do this? Because I was just used to taking one athlete to the stage at a time. So
Mhm.
having that one to six was a big jump. And it's just believing in myself more. But I honestly wouldn't change a thing because being a trainer at 18, being a pharmacy tech, being a lab technician, that all set me up to be able to build the business how I'm building it now. And all of the steps that the coaches that I had, the mentors that I had, that also set me up to how I also want to build my business. So honestly, I wouldn't change anything and I would just tell myself to keep going, keep believing in myself, and don't give up.
I love it though. I'm gonna say one thing though. Everybody in business is eventually gonna get to this point
Oh,
where
yeah.
they have to think about like the imposter syndrome. Am I good enough? Can I actually deliver on my promises? All that kind of stuff. But I love the advice. Jamie, this has been an incredible conversation. So I'm just gonna say thank you for taking the time sharing the story with me and with our audience. I really appreciate that. And if anybody from the listeners would like to get in touch, maybe even work with you one day, what is the best way to go about it?
Honestly, Instagram, I have a link on there where you can fill out a application form through Google's, and then I will reach out to you there, and then we can always set up a Zoom consultation call. So yeah, I love meeting all my
Beautiful.
clients.
How can they find you on Instagram?
It's Jamie, so it's ITSJAMMIEE.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you for that. And again, it was a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor. Thank you.
Love it. Now to our listeners, if today's conversation inspired you as well, make sure to subscribe to Founders Future on your favorite platform. And also, if you're a business owner, more specifically a consultant or a coach, or you have an agency and you're trying to scale the business and really enhance both your sales and marketing efforts, also visit closers.io, get in touch with our team, and discover how exactly we scaled our company from zero to over 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on crushing it, and I'll see you on the next one.